From towering cities to cursed ruins, the world of the Wheel of Time is as vast and intricate as the story itself. But how do the breathtaking landscapes of the books compare to their on-screen adaptations? Journey through the lands of light and shadow to uncover the heart of this legendary world. This guide provides an in-depth exploration of these lands, detailing their geography, cultures, and role in the narrative. The Westlands. The Westlands form the central setting for much of the Wheel of Time. This vast continent is home to numerous nations, city-states, and independent regions, each with its own political systems, cultures, and histories. The Westlands are bordered to the east by the Spine of the World, a massive mountain range that separates them from the Aiel Waste, and to the west by the Earth Ocean. The nations of the Westlands vary significantly in terms of governance and society. Andor, one of the most powerful and influential kingdoms, is known for its strong queens and well-organized military. Rhuidean, a city of political intrigue, is famous for the game of houses, Das Demar, a complex system of maneuvering and deception among the nobility. Tar Valon, located on an island in the river Aranan, is the home of the Aes Sedai and the White Tower, making it the epicenter of magical power in the known world. Other important regions include Tyr, Ilion, Amedisha, and Gildan, each playing significant roles in the world's shifting political landscape. The Westlands are a land of varied geography, featuring vast grasslands, rolling hills, dense forests, and major rivers that serve as trade routes. The cultural diversity across its nations is immense, with each kingdom having its own customs, laws, and relationships with magic. Many of the main characters, including Rand al'Thor, Mat Cauthon, and Perrin Aebora, originate from the Westlands, making it a focal point for much of the story. The Westlands, the core of civilization. 1. Andor. Andor is one of the most prominent and influential kingdoms in the Westlands. It boasts a strong military, a well-organized society, and deep-rooted noble traditions. Andor is unique because it is traditionally ruled by a queen, with succession passing through the female line whenever possible. This strong matriarchal structure sets it apart from many other nations in the Westlands. The capital city, Caemlyn, is one of the most beautiful and well-fortified cities in the land. With its massive white walls, grand palaces, and wide boulevards, it is a city of both military strength and artistic splendor. Elaine Trakand, one of the central characters in the Wheel of Time, hails from Andor and eventually assumes the throne. Under her rule, Andor becomes a key player in the struggle against the Shadow, contributing heavily to the last battle. 2. Tar Valon. Tar Valon is a magnificent island city located in the river Aranan, at the base of Dragonmount, the mountain where the Dragon Reborn was born. It is the home of the White Tower, the seat of the Aes Sedai, who are the most powerful channelers of the One Power. The city itself is a marvel of architecture, built by the Ogier, and filled with towering spires and intricate bridges connecting different parts of the city. Due to its association with the Aes Sedai, Tar Valon remains politically neutral, although it wields immense influence over the surrounding nations. Many rulers send their daughters to the White Tower for training, hoping they will either become Aes Sedai or at least return with knowledge that benefits their homeland. Throughout the series, Tar Valon is a place of intrigue, power struggles, and significant events that shape the course of history. 3. Two Rivers. The Two Rivers is a small but historically significant region in the western part of Andor, nestled against the Mountains of Mist. Isolated from the rest of the world for centuries, it was once seen as little more than a quiet farming community. However, the Two Rivers is renowned for producing some of the finest wool and tabac in the Westlands, highly sought after in major cities like Caemlyn and Tar Valon. Despite its remote location, the region has gained newfound importance due to its remarkable number of natural-born channelers, a trait that sets it apart from most other lands. Following the events of the series, Lord Perrin Aebora, once a humble blacksmith, emerges as the ruler of the Two Rivers, securing an agreement with Queen Elaine Trakand of Andor that grants the region autonomy while maintaining ties to the crown. 4. Rhuidean. Rhuidean is known for its rigid and treacherous political culture. Dominated by the infamous game of houses, Das Dumarch, the ruling elite engage in endless political manipulations, scheming, and backstabbing to gain influence and power. The city of Cairhien itself is designed in a precise, grid-like pattern, reflecting the nation's emphasis on order and discipline. The people of Cairhien are known for their strict etiquette and calculated diplomacy, making their society a dangerous place for those unfamiliar with its customs. Historically, Cairhien had control over trade routes to the Aiel Waste, which contributed to its wealth. However, its ill-fated decision to cut down the tree of Avendor Aldera, a gift from the Aiel, led to a devastating Aiel war that left the kingdom weakened. Cairhien plays a major role in Rand al'Thor's rise to power, as he conquers the nation and brings a degree of stability to it. 5. Tyr. Tyr is a powerful and wealthy kingdom, known primarily for the Stone of Tyr, an ancient and nearly impregnable fortress that houses Calendar, one of the most powerful sa'angreal ever created. Tyr has a long history of being ruled by high lords who maintain a rigid and oppressive social hierarchy. Unlike most nations, Tyr has a deep-seated distrust of channelers, enforcing strict anti-magic laws despite being home to an artifact of immense power. This contradiction highlights the kingdom's complex and often hypocritical nature. Rand's retrieval of Calendar from the stone marks one of his early major accomplishments, fulfilling a prophecy and solidifying his role as the Dragon Reborn. 6. Ilion. Ilion is a bustling maritime nation known for its grand traditions, including the Great Hunt of the Horn, an event where adventurers seek the legendary Horn of Valor. The kingdom's governance is unique, as it is ruled by both a king and the Council of Nine, creating an unusual power-sharing arrangement. Due to its strategic coastal location, Ilion is a major trading hub and home to a formidable navy. However, the city also becomes a battleground for dark forces when Samuel, one of the Forsaken, seizes control and uses it as a base of operations against Rand. 7. Gildan. Gildan starts as a minor kingdom, but gains significance due to the rise of Mesuma, the prophet of the dragon. His fanatical followers cause widespread chaos, leading to civil unrest and disrupting the stability of the region. Piranebera spends a significant part of his arc dealing with Gildan's instability, trying to balance his leadership responsibilities while managing the prophet's radical influence. 8. Altora and Ibudar. Altora is a loosely governed nation with little central authority, often caught between the influence of stronger neighbors. Its capital, Ibudar, is a city of beauty and danger, where dueling is a way of life and every insult can lead to a fight. The city is known for its bustling markets, vibrant festivals, and the infamous Terrason Palace, home to the ruling queen or high seat. 9. Amidisha. Amidisha, though officially a kingdom, is in reality controlled by the Children of the Light, a militant organization that enforces strict laws against dark friends and channelers. The White Cloaks rule with an iron fist, using fear and propaganda to maintain order, while the nation's nominal king holds little real power. Their capital, Amador, serves as the base of White Cloak operations and is a stronghold of their extremist ideology. 10. Mirandi. Mirandi is a nation in name only, as its nobles constantly scheme in war against one another, preventing any real central authority from forming. Its capital, Lugard, is more of a den of thieves and mercenaries than a true political center, with trade and crime flourishing in equal measure. Despite its instability, Mirandi unexpectedly rises in importance when its ruler, King Rhuidean, manages to unite the nation's forces in the final struggle against the Shadow, proving that even a fractured land can have a role in shaping the world's destiny. 11. Terabon and Tanchico. Once a powerful nation of scholars, merchants, and seafarers, Terabon is a land that descends into turmoil due to internal conflicts and foreign invasions. Its capital, Tanchico, is famed for its libraries, exotic goods, and hidden artifacts of great power, some of which date back to the Age of Legends. One of the most infamous figures from Terabon is Liandrin, a former Aes Sedai of the Red Ajah, who is later revealed to be a member of the Black Ajah. Known for her manipulative nature and cruel cunning, Liandrin plays a key role in betraying her fellow Aes Sedai and aiding the Shadow. 12. Arad Domin and Bandar Iban. Arad Domin is a land of wealth and trade, where merchant houses hold significant influence in politics is a game of deception and alliances. Known for its fine silks and elaborate cuisine, the nation thrives on commerce but suffers from frequent power struggles. Its capital, Bandar Iban, is a grand port city, but during the course of the series, it falls into disarray when its ruler, King Al-Salam, mysteriously disappears, plunging the country into chaos. With war looming and external threats rising, Arad Domin becomes a battleground for both the Shadow and the Dragon Reborn, as Rand al-Thor intervenes to bring order to the fractured nation and restore stability. The Aiel Waste. Beyond the spine of the world lies the Aiel Waste, an immense, arid desert that is home to the fierce and disciplined Aiel people. The landscape is unforgiving, barren rock, red sand, and scorching temperatures dominate the region, with little vegetation or water sources. Despite these harsh conditions, the Aiel have thrived, developing a unique warrior society centered on strict codes of honor and discipline known as Jito. This code dictates every aspect of Aiel life, governing their interactions, hierarchies, and conduct in battle. The Aiel live in scattered holdfasts known as holds, each belonging to one of the 12 Aiel clans. These holds are often built near rare water sources, making them crucial to survival. The Aiel are unparalleled warriors, trained from childhood in the use of spears, hand-to-hand combat, and stealth tactics. Their fighting style, combined with their endurance and knowledge of the terrain, makes them one of the most formidable forces in the world. They traditionally shun the use of swords, believing them to be weapons of wetlanders, but they are deadly with their spears and bows. The Waste is also home to Chaindare, the mountain near Rhuidean, where prospective clan chiefs and wise ones must undergo their trials. Rhuidean itself, hidden within the Waste, holds deep spiritual and prophetic significance for the Aiel. Only those chosen to undergo the trials are permitted to enter, and many do not return. Another important feature of the Aiel Waste is the Alcair Dal, also known as the Golden Bowl. This is a sacred meeting place where the clans gather to discuss matters of great importance, particularly the selection of leaders or the declaration of war. Despite their isolation, the Aiel are deeply connected to the history of the world, with their origins tracing back to the Age of Legends. Over the course of the series, the revelation of their true past, how they descended from the peaceful Gauchene Aiel, who once served the Aes Sedai, has a profound impact on their identity and their role in the last battle. Places of the Dark One, Blasted Lands. The Blasted Lands lie beyond the Blight and the Mountains of Doom, serving as the final, desolate stretch before reaching Sheol Gul. Unlike the Blight, which teems with corrupted life, the Blasted Lands are barren, an arid wasteland scorched by the Dark One's influence. Seen only in the dreams of Rand, Perrin, and Mat when they were drawn into Tel'aran'rhiod by Baalzaman, this forsaken land is a realm of nightmares, filled with shadows of evil and remnants of the War of Power. Later, the Forsaken hold secret councils there, using the land's proximity to Sheol Jul to commune with their master. The oppressive darkness that looms over the region makes it a place few dare to enter, except for those utterly devoted to the Shadow. The Blight. The Blight is a festering wound upon the world, stretching across the northern reaches of the Westlands and Shera. Its size and spread are directly tied to the Dark One's power, growing as his influence strengthens throughout the series. Unlike the Blasted Lands, the Blight is filled with twisted, unnatural life, every tree, plant, and creature corrupted into something deadly. Even the air is thick with disease, and venomous insects lurk in the rotting foliage, bringing painful death to any who linger. Among the most terrifying creatures are the worms, remnants of Agenor's genetic experiments, which are so powerful that even the Murdral fear them. Some believe these creatures are the larval forms of the monstrous Jumara, though few live to study them. The Blight serves as a testing ground for shadow spawn, a place where only the strongest survive and where those who seek a heroic end, such as male Aiel channelers, venture to meet their fate. As the Dark One's power grows, the Blight spreads further south, consuming fertile lands and leaving only devastation in its wake. Mountains of Doom. The Mountains of Doom rise as a jagged, impenetrable barrier between the Blight and the lands beyond. Spanning from World's End in Saldea to Tarwin's Gap in Shinar, these mountains separate the Great Blight from the even more desolate Blasted Lands. Legends speak of creatures lurking in the high passes that even the horrors of the Blight fear. Few ever dare to cross these mountains, except in the gravest circumstances. Tarwin's Gap, the only major pass through the range, is a key battleground where Shinarans hold the line against the ever-advancing shadow. With towering peaks and an air thick with darkness, the Mountains of Doom serve as a natural fortress, guarding the heart of the Dark One's domain. Pit of Doom. Deep within the valley of Thakindar, under the looming shadow of Shael Ghul, lies the Pit of Doom, the very site of the Dark One's prison. Here, the barrier between the real world and the Dark One's domain is at its weakest, allowing his will to seep into reality. The air within the pit crackles with unseen power, and those who enter are consumed by whispers of madness and temptation. The Forsaken come here to commune directly with their master, offering oaths and receiving his dark blessings. It is said that in the final days, this place will be the battleground where the last battle is truly decided, as the wheel of time turns once more toward its most desperate hour. Shael Ghul. Shael Ghul is more than a mountain. It is a monument to darkness, the place where the Dark One's power touches the world most strongly. Rising above the Blasted Lands, its slopes are wreathed in an unnatural gloom, and its peak is said to pierce the very fabric of reality. Time flows strangely here, shifting unpredictably under the Dark One's influence. Below the mountain, the Valley of Thakindar is home to the Forges of the Shadow, where the Murderal's curse blades are crafted in pits of seething darkness. For the Forsaken, Shael Ghul is both sacred ground and a place of terror, where they must bow before their master or risk his wrath. Here Baalzamon once held his dark court, and later, Moradin would continue his work, ensuring that the forces of the shadow remained ever loyal. As the Dark One's influence grows, Shael Ghul becomes the epicenter of his schemes, waiting for the day when the world will finally break beneath his will. Seanchan. The Seanchan Empire is a distant land across the arid ocean, ruled by an expansionist empire with a highly structured and hierarchical society. The ruling power is the Empress of Seanchan, who is considered divine, and absolute loyalty to the imperial order is demanded from all citizens. The Seanchan military is one of the most powerful in the world, bolstered by the use of domain, women who can channel but are forcibly leashed and controlled by Soldim. Unlike the Westlands, where Aes Sedai wield the One power independently, Seanchan society believes that channelers must be strictly controlled for the safety of all. The Empire is also known for its use of exotic creatures, including the Raken, large flying creatures used as scouts, and Toraken, massive flying beasts capable of carrying multiple riders. The Seanchan invasion of the Westlands is one of the most significant conflicts in the series, as they seek to reclaim what they believe is their rightful land, established by their ancestor Luthair Paindrag, son of Archer Hawkwing. Shara. Shara is one of the most enigmatic and secretive lands in the Wheel of Time. Located to the east of the Aiel Waste, beyond an almost impassable mountain range, Shara has little contact with the outside world. The Sharans are known for their strict caste system, where rulers maintain an iron grip on society. Their civilization is highly secretive, and foreign travelers are rarely allowed to leave once they enter. Those who do escape often speak of a land where knowledge is tightly controlled, and the rulers command absolute obedience. The most astonishing aspect of Shara is their handling of channelers. Unlike in the Westlands or Seanchan, male and female channelers in Shara are both controlled from birth. Male channelers are systematically culled, while female channelers are kept isolated and used for breeding purposes to maintain strong bloodlines of magic. Shara's involvement in the last battle comes as a surprise, as they remain a hidden power until nearly the end of the series. When they finally emerge, they do so in a way that dramatically shifts the balance of power in the war against the shadow. The Spine of the World. The Spine of the World is a vast and nearly impassable mountain range that serves as a natural barrier between the Westlands and the Aiel Waste. Towering above the surrounding lands, the jagged peaks and deep valleys of this mountain range make travel extremely difficult, limiting interaction between the civilizations on either side. The mountains themselves are home to treacherous paths and few settlements. The region is rich with dangerous wildlife, including mountain lions and other predatory creatures that make survival challenging. The weather is equally brutal, with freezing temperatures in the higher elevations and violent storms sweeping through the valleys. Few passes allow access through the spine of the world, the most famous being the Jengai Pass, which connects the Westlands to the Aiel Waste. This pass has been the site of numerous conflicts throughout history, particularly during the Aiel War, when Aiel warriors invaded Rhuidean after the Westlanders betrayed their trust. One of the most notable features within the spine of the world is Rhuidean, a hidden city of great significance to the Aiel. Nestled in the mountains and surrounded by an almost impenetrable shield of mist, Rhuidean is the place where Aiel clan chiefs and wise ones undergo their trials to prove their worth. This sacred city holds many relics from the Age of Legends, including Turin Griel, Sahin Griel, and secrets that shape the destiny of Rand al'Thor. Despite its isolation, the spine of the world plays a crucial role in the events of the Wheel of Time. It serves as a gateway between two vastly different cultures, the structured kingdoms of the Westlands and the warrior society of the Aiel, highlighting the stark contrasts and tensions between them. Stedding. Scattered across the world, Stedding are places of natural beauty and ancient power, serving as the homelands of the Ogier, a peaceful and long-lived race. Each Stedding is a sanctuary of towering trees, vibrant greenery, and an overwhelming sense of peace. What makes these places unique is their detachment from the One Power. Within their boundaries, no one can channel, nor can channelers even sense the true source. This effect provides sanctuary for those overwhelmed by the One Power, such as male Aes Sedai during the breaking of the world, and acts as a haven untouched by the shadow. Most notably, shadow spawn, including Trollocs and Murdrol, will not enter a Stedding unless driven by an extreme force, making these locations one of the few places where even the horrors of the Blight cannot reach. The Ogier, who maintain their peaceful existence here, guard their ancient lore, speaking of times long past and ensuring the preservation of knowledge lost to the outside world. Dragonmount. Dragonmount is a massive volcanic mountain that was formed during the breaking of the world, after Luz their Intellaman was confronted by Elin Morin Tedronai, also known as Ishmael. In his grief and madness, Luz Therin drew upon an immense amount of the One Power, so much that the air turned to fire, and the fire liquefied the very earth. A bolt of lightning struck from a clear sky, striking the place where he stood, boring deep into the ground and creating a towering volcano. The resulting cataclysm split the river Eridan in two, forming an island that would later become the home of Tar Valon. Dragonmount, as the mountain came to be known, became a symbol of prophecy, marking the place where the dragon reborn would come into the world. Its summit, which often smokes like an active volcano, looms high above the land, sometimes casting its shadow over Tar Valon at different times of the day. The Drowned Lands. The Drowned Lands are an extensive stretch of wetlands that act as a natural barrier between the city-state of Mynene and the rest of the Westlands. These vast marshes, filled with shifting waterways, thick mud, and treacherous terrain, make passage incredibly difficult for large forces, offering a degree of protection to Mynene from the ambitions of stronger nations like Tyr. The wetlands are often shrouded in mist, with hidden pools and waterways that change with the seasons, making navigation hazardous even for experienced travelers. While inhospitable to large settlements, the Drowned Lands support a variety of wildlife, including birds, amphibians, and other creatures that thrive in the marshy environment. For centuries, these lands have served as a natural deterrent, preventing direct military action against Mynene and helping to preserve its independence from larger, more powerful neighbors. Hadden Merk. Hadden Merk is a vast and untamed forest that stretches between the nations of Tyr and Rhuidean, a place of dense trees and thick undergrowth that makes it easy to disappear within its depths. It has long been a refuge for those seeking to evade capture, including outlaws, rebels, and even a nameless false dragon, who was executed by the Terrans before his identity could become known. Later, the forest would also provide a hiding place for the rebels who opposed Rand al'Thor's rule in both Tyr and Caerhien, using its dense foliage and treacherous terrain to avoid pursuit. The forest itself is described as nearly impenetrable, with thick vegetation that makes movement slow and difficult, often forcing those who traverse it to follow narrow, winding paths that could easily lead them astray. Haddonmerk's reputation as a dangerous and shadowed place is well earned, with stories of those who entered never to return, swallowed by the endless greenery and isolation. The Aryth Ocean and the Sea of Storms. The Aryth Ocean lies to the west of the Westlands, a vast and largely unexplored body of water that separates the known world from the distant lands of Seanchan. To the south, the Sea of Storms crashes against the shores of Tyr and Ilion, a tempestuous expanse that lives up to its name with frequent violent storms and unpredictable waters. The Athen Mire, also known as the Sea Folk, dominate these oceans. A seafaring people, the Sea Folk live almost entirely on their ships, which serve as both homes and places of commerce. Their vessels, known as rakers and soarers, are among the fastest and most maneuverable in the world, allowing them to control the majority of trade across the seas. The Sea Folk have their own complex culture, with strict hierarchies and traditions. Their leaders are known as the Mistress of the Ships and the Master of the Blades, and their society is built around the concept of bargains and trade. One of their most unique abilities is their use of windfinders, channelers who specialize in manipulating the wind and weather to guide their ships. The Aryth Ocean is also notable for being the route by which the Seanchan Empire invades the Westlands, bringing with them an army of strange creatures, domain, enslaved channelers, and a rigid imperial hierarchy. Little is known about what lies beyond the Aryth Ocean apart from Seanchan, and while legends speak of distant lands and lost civilizations, they remain a mystery. The Land of Madmen. Little is known about this separate island continent, except that, apparently, all channelers there are insane, and civilization did not survive the breaking of the world. It lies directly south, well below the equator from the main continent, near the southern ice cap. The Land of Madmen could be based on a distorted view of Australia before European colonization. Shadar Logoth. Once known as Eridhol, Shadar Logoth was a proud and powerful city during the Traacherous Wars, standing as a bastion of resistance against the Shadow. However, in its zealous pursuit to fight darkness, the city embraced a sinister philosophy of total, merciless purity. The rulers and people of Eridhol turned to Mordeth, a mysterious advisor who urged them to root out any weakness or corruption. In doing so, they became just as twisted as the Shadow they sought to destroy. The city's paranoia and cruelty grew until it annihilated itself, leaving behind an empty, cursed ruin, now called Shadar Logoth, meaning shadows waiting. The city is a place of unnatural evil, even more feared than the Blight itself. A presence known as Mashadar, a malevolent, mindless mist, slithers through the ruins at night, consuming anything it touches. Unlike the Shadow, which serves the Dark One, Shadar Logoth's corruption is an independent, self-destructive force so vile that even Trollocs and Murdro refuse to enter its walls. Those who enter rarely leave, and if they do, they often carry a lingering taint that spreads misfortune. The city's legacy lives on through the Shadar Logoth dagger, an artifact imbued with its malevolence, which plays a pivotal role in corrupting Matt Cawthon and nearly leading to his death. Shadow Coast and Windbiter's Finger. The Shadow Coast is a remote and largely uninhabited region in the southwest of the Westlands, its name hinting at mystery and possible connections to the Shadow. It is home to at least 2 Stedding, making it one of the safest yet least explored areas of the continent. Whether the name Shadow Coast comes from past historical events, dark legends, or a deeper connection to the Shadow remains unknown. Extending from the Shadow Coast into the Aryth Ocean is Windbiter's Finger, an unusual and perfectly straight archipelago. This strange formation, unlike any other natural landmass, has sparked countless myths and theories, with some suggesting that it may have been shaped by the One Power in an age long forgotten. Its eerie perfection and isolation give it an air of mystery that remains unresolved. At the far western edge of Saldaya, overlooking the vast Aryth Ocean, stands World's End, a towering cliff marking the edge of the gnome world. Though its name suggests mystery and wonder, it is also a place of practical significance. The landward side of World's End is used for growing Saldean ice peppers, a unique crop known for its strong flavor and valued in trade across the Westlands. While not directly tied to any larger forces, the isolation of the cliff and the endless ocean beyond have inspired many stories among sailors. Some believe that undiscovered lands or ancient secrets may exist beyond the horizon, waiting to be explored in the future. As time moves forward, the world continues to shape the journeys of those who travel through it. From the peaceful valleys of the two rivers to the towering peaks of distant mountains, each place holds stories of adventure and history. Whether experienced through the pages of a book or brought to life on screen, this world remains a captivating setting for storytelling, one that will continue to inspire audiences for years to come.